What's killing the people of God, amen, is not the attacks and the persecutions that we saw in the early church. No, ain't nobody coming here dragging nobody out by their hair and putting tar and feathers on them. What's happening is the enemy is seducing you. The enemy is tempting you, amen. The enemy is putting in front of you what you like, amen. And that stuff is overtaking you, amen. And then afterwards you feel bad and ask yourself, how did I get in this situation? How could I act like this? How could I talk like this? The reason you did that, amen, is because the enemy is after you. And you can't play with the devil. And so that's what you have to understand, amen. It's that no matter what he has in his arsenal, ultimately his greatest arsenal is sin. His greatest weapon is sin. And it's effective even in the lives of the people of God. We don't want to talk about that. Oh, we sit up here looking good. Oh, he got on good clothes. He must not have any problem with sin. The enemy must not be attacking him. Or the devil is a lie. Sometime when you are up here, and that's when the enemy fights you even the more. If you don't believe it, make up your mind you're going to get closer with God. Make up your mind you and your wife going to get along better. Make up your mind your kids are going to be sold out for God. And see what kind of attack come against you. It's not an accident, people of God. It's a strategy that the enemy is sending against you, amen. That's why we can't get to practice on time, choir director, because the enemy don't want us to lift up praises unto the name of the Lord. That's what we have to understand. Anytime we make up our mind, we're going to do things for God. The enemy always try and send something our way, amen, to try and stop us, amen. That's why we as a people of God have got to make up in our mind that no matter what come my way, come hell or high water, I'm going to press my way through this obstacle. I'm going to overcome this thing that has come in front of me. Because we have to understand, amen, that if you really get down to it, if you're a child of God obeying his word, the enemy can't do anything to stop you. But he can put that old weapon of mass destruction called sin in front of you and make you, amen, succumb to the seduction of it, succumb to the temptation of it. And you will disqualify yourself. If you look at the story of the children of Israel, amen, back in the book of Numbers, chapter number 22, they were on their way, amen. They were going to do something great for God. And then, amen, this king of Moab, amen, by the name of Balak, heard that they were coming, amen. And he said they done tore up, amen, Ai. They done tore down Jericho, amen. And now they're coming to tear down my city, amen. And the enemy said, I've got to do something, amen, to get in the way of the people of God. I've got to do something, amen, to stop the victory in the life of the people of God, amen. So what he did is he called a man by the name of Balaam, and he said, I want you to curse these people that have been, amen, going through tearing up everything in our land. And Balaam comes on the scene. If you want to get the whole story, go back through Numbers chapter 22 through 25 about talking donkeys and all those kind of things. But I'm just going to give you the paraphrase version for the interest of time. What you have to understand, amen, is that when he got there, amen, God wouldn't let him curse him. Only thing God would let him do is bless him, amen. Because whom God blessed is blessed. Don't be walking around here talking about you cursed, amen. Because the enemy can't curse you if God said you blessed. Let me say that again. The enemy can't curse you if God says you're blessed. Talking about generational curse, they said, the devil is a lie. God said, I'm blessed in the city, blessed in the field, blessed coming in, and blessed going out, amen. The only thing that'll stop me from being blessed is if I sin. And amen, so because he couldn't curse him, amen, he told the king of Moab, he said, I'll tell you what you do. Give your daughters to their sons. Let them intermarry. Let them come in, amen, and let them see your gods. And so they went in and they intermarried. And they began to fall and commit idolatry. So fornication, idolatry, they began to commit, and God sent a plague amongst them. So it wasn't the king of Moab that stopped them. It was the sin that they were overcome by that stopped them. That's what happened to them. And so that's what we have to understand, is that the enemy has sent sin, not just in the Old Testament. If you go back to Adam fell because he sinned. God, he said, I've given you all power. He said, I want you to have dominion and rule over this creation. You rule in the earth as I'm ruling in the heavens. You name everything. You're in charge of it. Have dominion over it. He relinquished his dominion for fruit. I don't know what the fruit was, but he relinquished his dominion for fruit. What are you giving up in your life for just a quick satisfaction? Just a quick taste for some sweet nectar? What have you given up? If we won't look at Adam, we won't talk bad about Adam, but what are you giving up? And then you look at it and say, boy, I sure messed that up. It was sweet while I had it, but now I got kicked out of the garden. The devil could not get Adam out of the garden. The devil can't get you out of the place that God has put you in. But you can do things that can disqualify you from operating in the place that God has planned and predestined for you to be. And then you look around and say, how did I get out of position? Because you got overwhelmed by sin. And you got to understand that this thing is not just going on in Adam. We look at a great man by the name of David, a man after God's own heart. I got any preachers after God's own heart? Let me tell you about a man by the name of David. Amen. He loved the Lord and he went after the Lord and we searched for the Lord. He fought with the Lord. Amen. He slayed giants. He killed a giant. He was just a little boy. Didn't even have any armor on. Went out there and the devil looked at him and started laughing. Said, well, Goliath, his name was Goliath, started laughing. And the thing is that the Goliath saw him, but he didn't see the God that was with him. And he slayed this giant. But after he slayed the giant, after he got all these victories and brought Israel into prosperity, he went, amen, into his own city and built him a palace. And one day while he was in his palace, he saw a woman bathing. And the thing is that he had a choice to make. Yeah, I see it, but do I keep looking or do I look away? Do I look away? Yeah, I know that's a short dress, but do I look away? I know them big muscles, but I look away. I got a choice to make. Y'all have to understand, I'm real. I don't play with you. You have to understand, you got a choice to make. And David made the wrong choice. And as a result of him making the wrong choice and committing adultery and murder and fornication, amen. All kinds of turmoil hit his house. His children began to kill each other and rape each other, amen, try to take the kingdom from him. All of this was going on in his family because he didn't look away. Sometimes you got to learn how to look away. It can be right in your face, but you got to learn how to look away. It might look good to you, but you got to learn how to look away. And so, amen, he didn't look away. And so he fell, amen. And then